Good evening, bienvenidos, konbanwa, irashaimase to the art of film here on this channel. I am Andres Salazar. Today we're going to talk about Oceans 11 and 12. And you might say to yourself, why are we going to look at this? You know this is going to get maybe 20 views. Why are we going to talk about a movie that was made a decade ago or more? Because you know why, guys? I don't do this for you. I do this for me. And I don't care. If I wanted to chase the views, I could talk about Russ Meyer movies, put some TNA on the thumbnail, talk about gender identity politics. But I'm not going to talk about TNA today. I'm not going to talk about gender politics. I'm not chasing the views, man. I'm talking about things that I like. Sometimes those things might be those topics that are popular. And sometimes it's just some old-ass movie that still kicks some ass, that we can learn from, that we can enjoy and appreciate the finer things of life, which is art. That's what inspires me. That's what this channel is about. Art of comics, art of film, art. Inspiration. Now, I got this. I saw Oceans 11 back when it first came out. Haven't seen it since. I never saw Oceans 12. I saw them both today. And I went to the swap meet down the street, and I picked up a couple things. I picked this up, which is the Oceans 11, 12, 13 box set. Boom, boom, boom. I bought this for like $1. Can't go wrong with that. And it's got commentary and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. We're just going to share a little bit. I got the Adventure Brothers Season 1. I love this. I bought this for $1. I love Adventure Brothers. If you want to, I'll go through every freaking episode and talk about it. So good. I got Studio Classics. Another box set. This has Affair to Remember, Leave Her to Heaven, A Letter of Three Wives, and Peyton Place. I don't know any of those except for Affair to Remember. I don't know the other three. So I'm looking forward to checking those out. That'll be kind of fun. This is movies from the 40s and 50s. So classics, in theory. What's this? Oh, yeah. This is fun. This is 4 films of Steve McQueen. Papillon, never seen it. Bullet, Getaway, Cincinnati Kid. So that'll be fun. Excited to see those. I've seen Bullet and Getaway. Love them both. Haven't seen Cincinnati Kid. And I don't know Papillon. Papillon. I've got this little set of the 4 Nightmare on Elm Street movies. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I saw these last night, and I actually did a little YouTube shorts. I did that on my other channel. You need to subscribe to the other channel. The first one is very, very, very good. I was gonna do a video on it, but screw it. I'll just throw it in here. The first Nightmare on Elm Street is badass, like full stop. The second one is super homoerotic. Not that that's a bad thing. Just saying that it's really all about him being a gay boy. That's what the film is about. And I'm not even exaggerating. That's what it's about. And you know what I'm going to do? We're just going to do it live because that's how we roll sometimes. I'm going to change this slightly because there we go. Yeah. I like that better. I got The Reader because I have fallen in love with kind of fell in love with Kate Winslet all over. I saw Titanic in the theaters for the reimagining, or not the 20th anniversary, whatever. And I saw Mayor of Easttown, which is a little limited series she did, I think for HBO or something like that. And I just fell in love with her. So I'm like, I need to see more of Kate Winslet. I have never seen The Reader, but this is the Blockbuster edition, and I'm excited to see it because I'm all about that girl. And lastly, this is exciting. This is a Roger Corman little box set. And it says 10 damn films. I bought this for $1. Listen to this. 10 films. Are you ready? The Terror. Creature from the Haunted Sea. A Bucket of Blood. Last Woman on Earth. Attack of the Giant Leeches. The Wasp Woman. Ski Troop Attack. Ski Troop Attack, sorry. Little Shop of Horrors. He did Little Shop of Horrors? What the hell? Night of the Blood Beast. And She Gods of Shark Reef. Now, when were these made? I'm assuming these are like his earliest films. I don't know any of these films. Although Little Shop of Horrors, I do know that one. I don't know any of these other ones. So I am definitely excited to check these out. This will be educational. So there you go. So I bought some fun little like box sets at the swap meet. They're like $1 each, so pretty cool. On to the show. By the way, if you want to know what I do creatively, and I got something freaking exciting that just happened. So let me give you a little tidbit. Guy calls me up. I've known him before. He's like, hey man, I got a gig for you. I got something exciting. I want you to do this, blah, blah. I'll tell you about it later. He's like, and he goes, I know you're going to be able to do it. I go, well, how's that? He goes, because I've been watching your YouTube channel forever. And I know you know what you're talking about. And I know you got this. And I'm a fan. And I want you to do this job. And I mean, that's kind of what this is all about. I mean, so I am excited to hear from people. Not only about like opportunities, right? It's like, of course, we want that. But I am appreciative of people who say, hey man, you kind of like have been putting in the time. You know what you're talking about, or at least you're passionate about it. And I can appreciate it. And because of that, I want you to do X, Y, and Z. I mean, that's what it's all about, really, is I'm a promoter by instinct. I love stuff, and I'm sharing it with you. And I'm sharing what I learn from things creatively. And by doing that, I actually learn myself, right? It's like teachers learn as they teach. So as I just verbalize stuff, I'm like, oh, dude, that's like totally... Okay, so now let's get on with the show. Go check out my Patreon, basically. Okay, Ocean's 11. Rapid fire. This movie... Okay, so we talked about Sex in this... Sex, Lies, and Videotape previous. That was his second film. Steven Soderbergh we're talking about. And go check that video out. We have that here. It got a lot of views, probably because it has sex in the title. It's like, oh, freak. I mean, that's how I can chase the freaking views. Just put sex in the title. He makes this movie, and this is the Steven Soderbergh film that is like, okay, you're the guy. You're made man. Because this made so much damn money. So much. Now, this is a remake of the old black and white Rat Pack, so it's not unique as far as the general plot and concept. But the script, the execution, all that stuff is new, so, you know. This made so much damn money. They made a 12, of course, and a 13. And then they made the girls' version. You know, I mean, there is longevity in this heist, you know, group, Dirty Dozen / The Heist film. And this movie is hip, it's slick, it's sexy, it's musical. I mean, it is like, it's style. That's the title of this video, is Ocean's 11 and 12. Is it style over substance? Question mark. And, no, it's got both. It's got both, dude. But there's definitely some style in here. So we start off with introducing our main characters, Ocean and Rusty, played by Brad Pitt. And we get this idea they're thieves. We get the history of the thieves. And then we get this kind of introduction to the heist. We get a history of robbing and heists of casinos. It's like the thing that never works is casino. We're going to hit a freaking casino in Vegas. We're not going to hit one. We're going to hit three. And there's this guy we're trying to go after because he jacked my wife. And that whole deal. It's very snappy. The music is very important. I mean, these are things that I'm editing my film, little documentary feature, and I'm thinking about that. It's like, how do I make it snappy? How do I move it along faster? How do I put the music in the right spots? Because this is so important. The music in this film really gives it a beat and gives it that movement. There's also amazing B-roll here. It's just all the shots, just really well done. There's great comedy. There's this split screen element, so just really hip, very new. I don't know if new is the right word, but for the mainstream, it probably felt new to a lot of people, a lot of mainstream people, right? It's not about character, though. There is some character moments, but really this is like a procedural. That's why we go to see this. Yeah, we want to learn a little bit about Brad Pitt and what's his face, Ocean, but George Clooney, but it's not really. I mean, there's tiny bits of their relationship, and of course, Julia Roberts who comes in on this, but it's really about the heist. It's the cool, like, contraptions, the positioning of the puzzle, right? It's a puzzle. It's how it all works and how it all. And I've tried to write. There was a screenplay I wrote about kind of like a. Well, I don't know what. Well, it's like a Willy Wonka but heisty, and that's all I'm gonna say. But now someone's gonna. It's hard. It's hard. You work backwards, you work forward, you go back and forth, and there's a lot of lists. It's very complicated. I also wrote this game. I made this like little puzzle game. It's hard. It's very hard. There's just a lot of moving pieces, and you got to like make it work out. So I appreciate all that, and I think that's why people go see the movie, is like the procedural aspect of it, which is kind of fun. Of course, when the character Tess, played by Julia Roberts, does come into the picture, that's the conflict. The conflict is the girl, because there's this relationship. She's still married to Ocean and all that whole deal. This also is a great way to show like career criminals and how there's different levels of career criminals. There's the higher echelon. There's kind of the lower barred criminals, and we get that. I'm going to say Pulp Fiction-y, but it's not, they didn't create it, but this idea of, the common man, criminal, gabbing the shit type stuff. So that's now in our movie lexicon, is criminals talking like normal people. Thank you, Quentin Tarantino, from really Reservoir Dogs. And even before that, French New Wave was doing that with like Breathless and stuff like that. He was a criminal, if you want to get technical. And that was like 1965, I believe. Someone's going to be, no, 67. There's, yeah, it's the interactions. It's this, it's all the stuff that makes this movie, not only their character interactions, but the whole like deal. Then there's these turns, right? Where we want to be fooled. So you do the heist. We think it works, or we think it doesn't work. And then we kind of rewind, whoop, 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 and we find out why it worked, or how it worked, or it didn't work. And this is it. So you're fooling the characters, maybe the villain or what have you, but you also fool us by not showing everything, and kind of like you just put every other piece, and now we're going to go see those missing pieces that explain the story. And that's another reason, this is why we go to movies too. Now, not all heist movies do this, of course, but these Ocean 11 and Ocean 12 does the same thing, where we kind of do a real quick rewind, and you kind of like see how it all played out, and it just adds another level of complexity and convolutedness, and also like, oh, that was cool, and that's what she did, and that's why she did that and that. So that's why we see it. It's a procedural heist movie with some banter and some, handsome folks. The second one is not as good. The second one's different. The first one, of course, they go to make this money. The second one is now the casino owner is now after them, and they owe this money, so they got to do a bunch of jobs to get the money to pay him back, basically. And instead of being in the States, now they go to Rome and Italy, and they kind of like ex-US stuff. So they're now international, doing the other kind of heists, and there's this like French, like, auteur of thievery, of robbery, who's kind of involved now, and they're competing. It's cool, not as good. And honestly, after seeing both of these, I don't really need to see the 13. Not that I won't. Maybe everyone's like, dude, 13 is the best. I don't know that. Never seen it. But I'm kind of like full right now. It's like 4 hours of watching these movies, and I kind of need a bit of a break. Because it is kind of just, I don't know. There's a lot of hipness. There's a lot of coolness to it. And I need to cleanse my palate with something a little different. Maybe I'll watch one of these Roger Corman movies to kind of give me a little different little vibe. But yeah, they made a lot of money. There was reasons why. It is a very well done script. It is acted well. It is produced well. It is a very good freaking movie. And the second one's good too. And it made a shit ton of money. And anytime that happens, you've got to appreciate it. So there's that. I think that's all. I think that's all we're going to talk about today. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. I will leave you with this tidbit that I said on my other personal channel. This is totally not film related, but what the hell, the freaking tape. I got tape still, so we're going to use it up. People need connections. We as humans need human connection. I used to have a game night that happened all the time. We had game night over here. When the pandemic hit, we couldn't have people over. It was like unhealthy or unsafe to do that. So we stayed home. And every night I would work on my comics, of course. And I would be by myself. And I got used to that. And I got to like that. And I got to be fine without seeing people. And that's not good. And that is unhealthy. And my message is, we as humans need human connection. Whether it's physical, emotional, relating, communicating, we need to be connected to people. It's critical. It's probably why I do this channel, if I'm really honest. Because my wife doesn't like comics. I mean, I got her to read Fables, big deal. She doesn't like comics. My friends are in other cities. We chat a little bit, but they don't even read comics anymore. I don't have big comic friends. I have some acquaintances, things like that. But I do this to talk to you guys. You're my friends. No, I'm going to get sad. No, I'm not. You're not my friends. Well, you're my friends. But, I'm here to communicate and share. So thank you all for watching. And check out my other channels. Check out the Patreon, all that stuff. We've got more comic stuff coming. I've got a lot of comic stuff coming. If you haven't seen the Scott Shaw interview, please go do that. I'm really proud of that. More of that kind of interviews will be happening. And yes, I will put some more of these, more film movies. And those of you who don't like the film stuff, you haven't even stayed to listen this long, so it's all good. Those of you who do like it, kudos to you. I'll be making these some more because they're fun. And I do things that are fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.